Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux, and today we just want to poke that beehive nest a little bit more. Talk about some fundamental issues with snaps. I actually made a bunch of notes. It's so rare for me to make notes, but I want to follow along on some notes because I want to have my information right. I don't want to be called out for telling the future again. I'm still waiting for people to say they're not getting rid of apt. They kind of did. It's still there in the terminal, but, who uses that? Really? Well, anyway, how is everybody doing on this wonderful quarantined Saturday? Mark is first. Greetings, Mark. And Serge, how's it going there? Too worried about snaps? Just don't use Ubuntu, or better yet, use a non-systemd distribution. There you go. See, there's your one good. I've been asking for a good logical reason. What's so wrong with systemd? It's required for snaps. That's what's so wrong with it. My lands. Come on, man. Hey, kitty, can I have my coffee? Thank you. Cats here stealing my coffee. You get your own Switch to Linux coffee cup at shop.switchtolinux.com if you are so inclined to do such a fun thing. Let's see here. Where are we at in our comments? I will not be able to pronounce. Let's see. White mouse. Let's see. Just switch to Windows Kappa. Oh, Windows. What? Wait. Which one's Windows Kappa? I'm losing something. Anyway, we are monitoring the comments as well on the live chat section on Discord. John is over there. I grow cats, yes, and I water them every day, twice on Sundays. All right. And let's see. Is it Zaichi? My apologies for not being able to pronounce that. Systemd is a great niche system. Fair and OS dev agrees. Gray Viper. Greetings. Hello, everybody. Why is Snap so difficult? Gray Vapor, excuse me. We are going to discuss that in detail today, so I'm not going to talk about it right this second. I don't want to give away my tips. All right. And then you must never criticize Snap, or the Snap Boys will erase you from existence. Always glamorize the Snap solution as the best solution ever thought. Any concerns? Better let it be with you. Yeah. Well, I've never played by nice rules. I stopped playing by nice rules when people were, when I tried to play by the nice rules and people didn't like you anyway. So now I just kind of speak what my mind is, with the appropriateness that needs to be appropriated. But I'm not going to kiss people's butts, particularly in this community, because butts smell gross, and I'm just not going to do that. All right, let's see. I find it the other way around. You must hate snaps like flat packs. I'm not necessarily an evangelist for either one of them. Of the three, app images, I think are the better. And then flat packs and then snaps. I'm not completely opposed to snaps, but I do have some fundamental concerns. And we'll get into what's going on with that. And hello, Kay likes Linux. Greetings. This is a Kai, I think we said. All right. It's correct, Ghost. My personal experience, snaps are faster and easier than flat packs. One of the funniest things, though, is in Ubuntu 2004 that's coming out here later on this month. They actually removed some of the snaps because they were slowing the system down too much, and then went ahead and implemented a system whereby you pretty much only get snaps by default. Very interesting. I've had some issues with flat packs as well. It's kind of hit and miss on each individual application. I don't think any one of them is necessarily better or worse than the other one from the standpoint of how well they function. It's just going to depend on the software. So, I've tried using the Kden Live flat pack on Linux Mint for a friend of mine's computer. We could just not get it working right. So we basically did the repos instead and added PPAs and added the extra stable repos and went with that. That always seems to work better for me. Let's see. Cat cam only stream when? My cats are just, sometimes they're exciting. If I could rig the whole house with cameras and then I'd have IoT cameras over the place. No, that's crazy. That cat is 9 years old, I believe. My other cat is 11 years old. I love the drama between Linux distros. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of like watching a fight for free, right? It's a free and open source fight. Make Snap for my program, and it's such a finicky thing trying to get things to work. I just reach out to some of the guys on the Snap teams and ask them for some help and see what they're doing. That's it. The cat is adorable. Thank you very much. I grew him myself. Watered them twice on Sundays, you know. Flatpak has the right idea. Snap has a better execution kind of thing. All right. We all know that Debian is the best. There you go. Let's see. Switched to cat. There you go. Amazing solutions, and I want a Snapcraft for app images. It's the future. Snaps and Flatpaks are for the win. Doing fine. Writing script for your next video. Very cool. Who uses the terminal as Arch users? I know. All right. Also, Ubuntu will not abandon apt anytime soon, especially in a sudden way. All right. So you're fairly new around here. What is it? About a year ago, in fact, I think it was a year ago in February, I did a video saying, is this the end of Ubuntu? And I was mentioning some things that are on some of the Ubuntu Launchpad things. It was an idea that somebody had suggested, although nothing was ever acted on it, and it sat there for the whole world to say. But the problem is that for the standard purpose for your basic beginning user, effectively they have killed it. Yes, it is still there. But they're trying to do everything through the GUI, and the GUI does no longer supports apt. And that's kind of the challenge. They'll Thanos snap you. That's right. For app images also, Flatpaks greater than snaps. All right. For snaps, what Flatpaks are fine. All right. App images greater than Flatpaks greater than snaps. All right. App images are really universal in the way you can install a deb package on any distribution. That's why I like app images the most. They give you the absolute most control of what's going on. Let's see. Good software where the dependencies are still crazy. Yeah. Snaps and Flatpaks have so much in maintenance time. Yep. Okay. App images, Flatpak equals snaps. All right. Hello, Blue. Greetings. All right. Snaps are very slow in your experience. Okay. Don't have to build again for every distro. That's your advantage of them. But snaps, Flatpaks, and app images all have that. What's the fundamental difference between them? As far as all of the fundamentals, really the difference is there's some distribution differences, there's some packaging differences. I'm not going to get into all of that. I'm just going to be looking at Ubuntu 20.04 and having a look at some of the things over there. Flatpaks on Linux Mint work very well. Even themes work fine in Mint. All right. Hello, Nelian. Is it Alien? I don't know. Is it Nelania? My apologies. I'm not going to get your name right. New here, just starting to learn about Linux. Thanks for making it easier. Unfortunately, I don't yet know what snaps or Flatpaks are. Okay, so snaps and Flatpaks. So this is a way of packaging Linux software that is sort of like Android apps, where all of the dependencies, everything is built right into them. And you just need to mount them into the system to get them to run. Their controversy is that while there is absolutely good and positive use cases for them, Ubuntu is starting to slap snaps down in people. And it should never be your first solution for go-to in a Linux system. So hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about it near the end. Downside is that Flatpaks upgrade silently without any control, at least out of the box in Linux Mint. I believe, yeah, like I even have some on my Arch computer that are automatically updating some things, and I do not like anything that auto updates itself. We're emailing you a broken ISO for Ubuntu Luma. Oh wait, which one was that? Did you email me something? If I did, I missed it, or was it? I forget. I don't know, man. I don't know. I must have missed it. I'll have to look in my inbox. All right. Shall we go ahead and dive on into the video? Let's go ahead and do that. So we're actually going to be doing our video pretty much entirely on Ubuntu. So let me get my Ubuntu built up. Get that running, and then I will go ahead and start the recording. Okay. There's another downside is they use Electron, which is kind of RAM intensive. Yeah, Mint has an Etsy XDG auto start shortcut, make Flatpak updates. Don't worry, it doesn't boot. Oh. Oh, is it the, I don't know. Well, greetings, Mark. We are just getting started here. I'm just waiting for my Ubuntu system to boot so that we can get ready to go pretty seamlessly here. You know what? Let me also get a web browser opened up on Ubuntu, and we'll kind of chat about that. We'll get a chance to see the new Start Firefox URL bar that I completely and thoroughly and totally hate. All right. Let's see. Sweet. It went ahead and auto-loaded the things that I wanted to auto-load. All right. Let's go ahead and get ourselves started. Also need my desktop view. Where's that? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today I want to spend a little bit of time talking about some fundamental issues with snaps that I see. This is continuing on in the discussion and the concerns that I've had regarding Ubuntu and snaps and the ongoing development, because I'd like to make some things clear at the start. First and foremost, Ubuntu is Ubuntu's distribution. They can do with it whatever they want. But I can choose to not recommend it, and that's my decision as well. And I'm not doing it out of spite or because I don't understand. I'm doing it out of some fundamental chief concerns that I have about what's going on in some of the snap world. And the reality is, I love Ubuntu for what it is and for how it has helped so many people find Linux. But the downside is they've moved it so far away from the fundamental philosophies inside of Linux that have caused some issues. So in the latest version of Ubuntu 20.04, which is yet to be released, but I just grabbed yesterday the final beta lock prior to the official release. In this version, they have removed the ability to install app packages from the GUI by default. You can still get that in. We'll have a separate video about that. But what I want to do is I want to spend a lot of time looking at the Snap Store and what they're doing with it and addressing some fundamental concerns. So we're going to head on over here, and this is not going to be any review or anything of the Ubuntu 20.04. For the most part, it's very stable. It reminds me back of 16.04 LTS that was so extensively stable. It was unbelievable. And this has a lot of those elements to it. But it also has a software center that will only allow you to get snap packages from the GUI installer. There is nothing else. And that's a fundamental concern. Now, what is the big deal? This actually goes back about 2 years ago. You're like, why are you digging 2 years in the past? Because it's fundamentally important to understand this. So about 2 years ago, there was some inappropriate code, whether it was I don't think it was a virus. I think it was more of a tracker or something, but it was some malicious code was found in a snap package. And so Snapcraft and Canonical pushed out this blog post in May 15th of 2018. And in this blog post, what they actually did here is they looked at why they're going with snaps and all these types of things. They're talking about some of the fundamental problems, how phone devices like Android and iOS solved some of these problems and stuff like this, which is very good. Now, where I've always had a fundamental problem with this is where we have the issue of trust. And traditionally in the Linux world, what we've been able to do is, as they're putting together the repositories for the operating systems, then what happens is we're able to audit the code. We're able to see things. Now, the argument is, since the very old packages, or the older way of doing it, what's called the traditional way of packaging Linux software, utilize some core software and then a series of dependencies. So the auditors for the code would only have to audit the dependencies once, and then they'd have to audit the code once. Now, this led to a few fundamental issues whereby the software would sometimes not work with one dependency, whereas it would work better with another. And so what snap packages do is they package the most ideal dependencies directly inside the package. The problem is, auditing such a thing now becomes intensive because you're auditing the same dependencies over and over and over again. And that could, in and of itself, prove to be a fundamental problem. So in order to address this, what they did is they actually talked about shifting trust. And when they were looking at doing this, what they actually say down here is that what they did is they had to shift a trust from the code to the developer. And I completely forgot to grab the spot where it was in the article. I actually have it referenced in my other video about it. Man, and I had like perfect notes otherwise. But if we dig down through this, what we end up seeing is we're shifting a trust from the software itself to the developers who packaged the software. It's going to drive me crazy until I find it. So let me see if I can find it real quick. Okay, so the most inherently complexity of the software means it's impossible for a large-scale repository to accept only software that every individual file has been reviewed. This is what we've talked about. This is true whether the source code is available or not, as in no institution can afford to review hundreds of thousands of incoming source lines of code every day. Because that the most successful trust model is based on the origin of the software, not its content. In other words, we're going to trust the publisher rather than the application itself. Trust the publisher. Now, the question is, who are the publishers of the software? Official snaps from our major publishers. You'll notice that some of these are very reputable. Some of these are not. Many of us who switch to Linux do so for security and privacy reasons. Are we really going to trust Google and Microsoft? Most of us don't. If I wanted to keep trusting Google and Microsoft, I'd just stay on Windows. I wouldn't be bothering with Linux. Spotify, not really. JetBrains, I haven't seen any reason not to. They produce software for productivity type stuff like coding packages, an area I'm not well in. Mozilla's kind of a... These guys are like, yeah, sure, they're a big free and open source company, but man, sometimes they're doing things that just don't make much sense. And so, can we trust them? Probably. KDE, sure, I'll trust KDE. I'll trust KDE and JetBrains on this list. All right, the other ones, I have some issues and some questions and some concerns. And so, this is the problem. So, remember this in mind. This is what needs to be burned in your mind. We are trusting the developer and not the software. We're going to trust who puts this in the store and not the software itself. That's our premise. So with this new software center coming in, and everything in here is a snap. There is nothing in here that's not. So we have some very interesting things to look at off the top. So we have Signal recommended. Signal recommended here is done by Snapcrafters. There's numerous applications that are done by Snapcrafters. Now, Snapcrafters, who is this? Snapcrafters is a list of people. Some of these people are very trustworthy within the world. We have Martin Wimpress, we have Alan Pope, two very high-profile Ubuntu, Ubuntu employees. Canonical, Ubuntu, whatever. Okay. The other one's James Page. I've heard his name out there. So all these guys are people that we can probably trust. Okay. So when they're putting together software, I can look at this and confidently say, okay, they put this together. Maybe I'm okay with that. But it came with a little problem. If we do the Signal app, right? If we go and have a look at Signal, and if we head on over to Signal and we hit the button to get Signal and we download for Linux, we only have one option here. In other words, Signal itself, supposed to be the most trusted software, does not seem to officially recognize the Snap package. And I came to the conclusion that that is a very common thing. Now, some of them do. So if I head on over to LibreOffice, for example, which, by the way, LibreOffice is installed, but it's installed through the apt repositories. It's not installed through this. So this one here is by Canonical. Of course, Canonical is the creators of Ubuntu. Now, we also notice this little green check. Why is the Snapcrafters, the Ubuntu employees, not recognized? Now, of course, if we head on over to LibreOffice, and we want to go and download LibreOffice. My apologies for using Google. I'm just defaulted this guy out of the box. So if we head on over to download and we want to download it, we can actually see that LibreOffice does officially recognize the snap. So I'd have no problem using LibreOffice's snap in the store. It's verified. It's not developed by LibreOffice, but it's developed by Canonical, and it is officially recognized. All right, we came up with similar things for those of you who need to use Skype. Of course, we were talking earlier about trusting Microsoft or not. And when you head on down here, well, I may not trust Microsoft. If I'm going to use Skype, I would really prefer that Microsoft be the one to package my application. We can see here, Skype is verified. No problem. So if I had to use Skype, I do not have any problem whatsoever using this. Now, if I head on over to Skype's website, I did not check Skype's website. I don't know if they officially recognize the Snap package over there or not. This is actually one of the ones that I did not look for. Let's go ahead and have a look. So we have, oh, there you go. So Skype officially recognizes their Snap package. Okay, that's great. Let's look at another example. So these are all just software packages that I might use on a regular basis. So here is VLC, Videolan. This is the company that makes VLC. And I can't remember if VLC officially recognizes it on their site. I can't remember that one or not. Of course, we have Firefox, which we have a repo version of Firefox. We can download another one through the Snap package. This is officially through Mozilla. No problems whatsoever. Now, let's go ahead, though, and have a look at what one application do you see on your screen that is being used so frequently these days? Oh, if you missed it, it's the Zoom client. So Zoom client is by Oliver Groth. We'll get back to Oliver in a second. Let's head on over to Zoom. If I'm going to go on over to Zoom and I hit a resources, download the Zoom client, and I go to download for Ubuntu, the only thing they recognize is a deb package. Zoom does not recognize the Snap package. Now, who is this gentleman here? Well, this is an Ubuntu employee. If we look this up, we can actually look into him. He's an Ubuntu employee. It raises, though, some fundamental questions. Is this an individual Ubuntu employee working on these Snap packages? This is apparently not official. Zoom doesn't recognize it. It's not on their official website. Oliver, if I didn't do the research to figure out who he is, I wouldn't know he is an Ubuntu employee. So it looks as though what happened is a whole lot of applications that didn't have official Snap builds or didn't have direct working with Canonical or the company wanting to package a Snap, they basically assigned a bunch of Ubuntu employees to go ahead and create what I'm going to call unofficial builds into the system. Now, here's another good one. I mean, we all talk about VPNs, and there is an application called OpenVPN that you can actually use on your system. So if you head on over and get OpenVPN, we have a lot of ways. AWS, Azure, DigitalOcean, Oracle, GCP. If you want to get it down here for Ubuntu, we have repositories. All right. We have manually downloading packages. What do we notice is that OpenVPN does not list the Snap packages anywhere. But let's do this interesting research for OpenVPN. So if we do an OpenVPN look, we have three options here for OpenVPN. We have this guy's option for OpenVPN, whoever this guy is, which apparently doesn't work. We have this one, which looks kind of official, by this guy's, he's like a known security computer guy, if you look him up. Like, he doesn't seem super fishy, except hacker and activist are 2 things listed in his nouns or whatever, verbs or whatever that describe him. But that's not an official thing, although it is using their official logos. We have this easy OpenVPN by Canonical, verified by Canonical, the one that looks the most unofficial. Very interesting. Also, though, not recognized by OpenVPN's download page. So that's interesting. Now, there's another application I use a lot, and that is called Simple Screen Recorder. So if I need to just record simple screens and not do something complex like on OBS, I do that. So this is the guy who made Simple Screen Recorder. I will not be able to properly pronounce the name. Martin, is it Martin Barrett or whatever? So if you wanted to get your information for how to download this guy here, he has all these various notes. He has Ubuntu. We have in Ubuntu 17 and newer, it's in the official repository, so you can simply install it. There's these. Notice that he says nothing about the snap packages. Okay, there's nothing here about the snap packages. But if I head on over here and look for Simple Screen Recorder, I actually have 2 things. This one's actually using Martin's original icon. It is very clearly noticed as unofficial from this guy. Okay, we have this one, which is not using his same repo from this guy. Now, if you dig into this deeper, this guy will link back to Martin's GitHub page saying, hey, this is where the source code came from. But apparently this is unofficial. And if you're going into Ubuntu and you want to install Simple Screen Recorder, you're going to get basically unofficial options inside of here. All right, we looked at some of those. Let's look at another one that's on the home screen, OBS. So this is OBS, again, by the Snap Crafters. So we already talked about the Snap Crafters, but let's see what OBS Studio has to say. Head on over to the Open Broadcast Studios. If we head on down to the download button, what we see here is, let's see if I can actually find it. Not sure I'll be able to find it right off the top. The OBS does officially recognize this as an unofficial. I found the list very easily yesterday. Snappy. Okay, so they say it's an unofficial, but you can install it here. So at least OBS, I have more confidence in OBS that it's the Snap Crafters. We already talked about them. I think that they're going to be trustworthy in the scope of what's going on. But at least the OBS website does make reference to this. I want to look at this other one, though. This is neat here. KeePass XC. So, of course, password managers, right? So, KeePass XC. If you have a look for KeePass, okay, now we do have the KeePass XC here, and we have the KeePass X, this one here. He basically gives us, at least we have a warning up here if you read stuff, written by this guy, saying that, hey, use KeePass XC instead. The KeePass XC one, it's written by Jonathan White, who, by the way, is the official guy behind this. So if you head on over to the KeePass XC website, they will have the official Snap package available. So here's the challenge that I have with these latter two, OBS and KeePass. These are at least recognized by the official companies, but we don't have any blue check verification. Snapcrafters have done a lot of good applications, but we don't have any verification of who they are. And in many of those cases, not all of them, but many of those cases, we don't actually have any understanding of who or what built that, and is it officially recognized? So these are the things that make me wonder, is this current Snap store very much like the old Windows Store? If you guys remember when the Windows Store was first launching, and I had a Windows phone back then, and in my Windows phone, there were a boatload of unofficial software. It was buggy as all get out. It was problematic. You were never sure if you were downloading an official application or an unofficial application. And that's what it seems like to me. So for any company, the big companies that wanted to work with Canonical, they seem to either work with them and develop it, like in the case of Microsoft with Skype, or LibreOffice. Hey, we trust you. Here's the code. We'll officially support it. It's on our website, etc. Completely understand those. But for a lot of your smaller developers, unknown persons who at least are unknown to the regular people who'd be wanting to switch to Linux, we don't have any verifications. We don't have any audits. Remember this that we started with. We're trusting the developer and not the software. My fundamental question is, who are some of these developers? Who are some of these developers? And so I have some fundamental problems that despite most of these applications, not all of them, but most of these applications we just looked at, you can get official audited versions on Ubuntu from the terminal with apt. VLC you can, Firefox you can, LibreOffice you can, Simple Screen Recorder you can, OBS you can, and I think maybe KeePass XC. But instead, we're being forced to unofficial versions through a Snap store. That is a fundamental problem to me because it starts making it look like this Wild West, like the old Windows Store, forcing this GUI of unofficial software when an underlying terminal of official software is already still available if only you want to use it. That's a fundamental concern that I have. Do you share that concern? Let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Hit me a like or dislike it. Just reminder though, if you're going to be nasty and rude, I'll probably just delete your comments. But hey, if you have something constructive criticism, that's fine. You know, I don't delete comments who disagree with me. It's just if you're rude. So anyway, go ahead and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, so there's one. We'll get caught up on these, and then I think what we're going to do is I will show you guys how you can install apt functionality. Back to this nonsense. All right. Okay, let's see. Okay, people are talking about bugs and stuff. Let's see if we're getting there. Okay, let's see. Switch Kitty Cam again. I'll see what tried out. Steam Proton. No. Hit the URL bar in the beginning too. It takes some getting used to, but isn't that bad apart from the theming. Right. Interesting or not, they removed the calculator, system monitor, and other stuff from Snap to apt. However, decided to put a Snap store over the GNOME store. Yeah, they actually removed those because it was bogging down the system too much. No app packages in the Snap store. That's a known bug. I could not find any reference to that. Okay. I was looking. I spent 2 hours looking for any information about that. Farron, I'm sorry, I'm going to disagree with you until this point in time, until such time that I can find something that's legitimate other than somebody said something on a podcast. Okay? So the thing is that I was hunting around for this. I could not find any reference to it. And all of the documentation I was able to find basically said we're switching. Now, what my understanding is it is a bug that deb packages do not install through it. I can confirm as of right now, deb packages do not install through it. That, to my understanding, is a bug, which is why I didn't mention it in the video. Okay, and if it's such a bug, then here's a thought. They should not have released this and called it the final beta. I'm sorry, I am not going to participate in this until I can find actual documentation on it. Go ahead and link it to me because I looked for it. All right. Features avoiding apt and using snaps as a standard. WinPress developers in Ubuntu and Ubuntu Mate say it is a bug. Give me a link to that. Snap is backend proprietary. That is one of the fundamental issues. Does Canonical plan to make snaps capable of system linking the home directory externally? Some as server setups require. Are they going to all locking down the home directory? Is Ubuntu vanilla? That must be a VM. Yes, we are in a VM. KVM built into the kernel, not complicated. Canonical said repeatedly they don't plan to make snaps replace deb files. Yet this is a trend. Okay, thought you guys talking more about the fact they removed some apps that were snaps and now they are apt but keep on. Okay, at least something similar won't ever happen on Slackware. There you go. Developers can choose how they package software, but what if the developer only packages them as snap? Then Linux becomes like Windows, bloated and insecure. Biggest issue with snaps is it is forced updates, kills uptime on mission critical servers. Yes. Don't trust them. Wouldn't you want them programs sandboxed? Snap packages apparently are not sandboxing a whole lot. Discord itself, Skype specifically tells you it does not sandbox. So some of them do, some of them don't. Force updates is an issue and interesting or not. People hate rolling release, but when it uses snaps, all the apps are in the latest version, so they don't complain. The thing is, I do complain because I don't want stuff to be changing like that. Come on, Ubuntu. Stop. Stop closing down. All right, there we go. Trusted Microsoft for years. Now look what happened. Yeah. So you're late, just woke up. Why are you waking up so late, man? Snap doesn't respect themes. I think the theming issue has been fixed. My understanding is the theming issue has been fixed. Plan to keep app. This is what they say. Well, I mean, some of them choose to go with it. Some of them choose not to. I don't think there's a requirement of the flavors to continue to use it, but I don't know for sure. There's a budget that dwarfs Slackware's, yet Slackware's volunteers have skills and motivation to package Chromium browser, yet Canonical complains it's too difficult. Yeah. Should not have such a big and important part in the Linux ecosystem being closed source. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Ubuntu abandoning apt anyways. It's their distro. Don't like it, don't use it. That's exactly what I said at the beginning. Yep. Bigger in size. Snaps need faster internet connection to download. Snaps are slow even on SSD. Pre-installed by default instead of being given an option during the install to opt out. Yep. On 32-bit libraries and big packages like LibreOffice, Chromium, and others like since years of doing it alone without being paid. Yep. On keeps putting snaps as a standard option. Other distros might see it and copy their attitude. Yeah. Later, Mitchell. see, Snaps also love to update itself in the background. You can't control it. Acts like Windows updates. I believe there is an option actually to inside here. You can disable automatic updates and disable automatic update notifications. So automatic updates are disabled when on mobile or metered connections. So that is an option that we have inside of it. Let's see. Snap Store lacking app packages is confirmed bug. Okay, give me a link. I was looking for it. Okay. I am not going to parrot Alan Pope's statements. He is a PR person for Snapcraft. Give me documentation. Okay, most of the distros are shipping with both Snap or Flatpak, especially distros for newbies. Yeah. No Snap yet, fortunately. I have, but Flatpak I go co-install with Pomec. Distributions don't want to force snaps anytime soon. Yep. So Linux Mint is fundamentally opposed to snap packages. So Linux Mint will not be incorporating snap packages. I'll let Farron comment for his distro. I'll regret to do some development on GitHub Zoom client via Snap Store. Zoom isn't open source. Yeah, I don't know what his role on all that was. Okay, means default install Snap, never change the bug. Let's see. Want my 128 gigabyte full of snaps. Okay, I'll let Farron comment if he's going to use them or not. You don't want to have the latest version of a package or program. That is fundamentally why app image is the best of the options, because you download the app images individually. So I think it's Chris Ware has a video where I can't remember if he's using Ubuntu or Mint. I think he's went back to using Linux Mint and just using an app image repository of his own, because app images never update anything. If you want to update your app image, you just download the new version of it. But you can also keep multiple versions of the same app image on the same computer and run them concurrently. And so that's why app image is the better option of all of them. KeyPass XC can be built from source. Would that explain no check policy? Well, in your repos, they're still always checked. Elementary doesn't have Snap or Flatpak pre-installed either. I don't remember what Elementary has. For me, OBS doesn't work with NVEnc if you install it from the app or whatever, but it does work as a Flatpak. Okay? So I don't use Flatpak and Snap. I use apt on Linux Mint Debian Edition 4. Free and open source software, there are no official applications. Well, there are official applications. It depends on who packages it. Said by Martin Wimpress, give me a reference. That's what I'm looking for. Here's the thing, okay? And this is a fundamental thing that I had mentioned in the, is this the end of Ubuntu video, all right? When you are, right now, this is the last release of Ubuntu before the official release. If this is such a major issue, don't release the beta. It's not ready. right? When's this going to be fixed? This is an LTS release. This is one of the things that, one of the arguments I brought up about, is this the end of Ubuntu? Because what happens now is that we're pushing out bad code to adhere to a schedule rather than pushing it out when it's ready to be released. And that's a fundamental issue. Again, let's see some documentation about this being a bug. You'd think it's on some launcher somewhere. You'd think it's on some roadmap somewhere. Let's see where it's at. That's what I want to see. Snaps of small programs because of the slows the system. Yeah. Calculator is slow because it's a snap. Yeah. Okay. If you only have 120 gigabyte SSD, it might seem like a problem. Not much space for your files and stuff. OBS and the Snap Store is built by Snapcrafters. Snapcrafters are a group of developers who use official GitHubs. Okay, I addressed this, Penguin Revolution. That is addressed in the video. 4 is the best Ubuntu release in a long time. But hunting down a quote in at least 6 hours of streams. This is the point. If this is a bug, it should be on a tracker somewhere. That's why we have bug trackers. There's bug trackers for all of this. They have lists of known bugs, okay, in the Ubuntu release notes. It's not there. I've looked for it. Did try Ubuntu 24 a while ago. Here's what it did. First, remove the Snap Store. Sudo snap remove Snap Store. Then I installed GNOME. Yep. So, yeah, we'll get into how to fix this. Need to pay or avoid. Yeah. Allow the end user to switch core snap, which ships snapd binary directly to the edge channel. Yeah. Had any problems with anything packaged by them, but they are pretty open where their source code is from. Nice. KDE Frameworks is installed. Very good. Googling Snap Store Access and NFS. All right. Listen to you. I'm starting to think to put my app in Debian. Maybe Canonical will lose interest in snaps. I don't know. I mean, there's reasons to use that, Gray Vapor. What I'm suggesting here is that if they're pushing the Snap Store, I'd like to see a lot more official builds for it. But right here, it looks like they're running too far ahead of themselves and then having to make up for the lack of software by having random people on their team develop packages. And I think that that's not a way to go. I think there's too many concerns with that because it turns into what happens in the Microsoft Store. So there's too many snaps you can't check all. Also, more trust the developer, so be more malicious software found. Yep. Don't like it, leave it. That's right. And that's what I said at the beginning of the video. Think the hate for snaps is justified? Yes, completely. No requirement. Ubuntu Lumina will not include snaps for the most parts I cared to change. There you go. All right. Remove snap from the Ubuntu. You'll be limited in what you can install since almost everything became a snap, even Chromium. Yeah. With the source code, you can compile in many different ways and discover the bugs and report it to the dev. But with the snaps, you need systemd, and you can't try compilations. All right. All right. Can you place your Snap apps in an external hard disk of your computer? I don't know. Put his interview on Linux for everyone a few weeks ago. He talked about snaps. Yes, I did. People, well, you can tell me where to find it. You can figure out a creative way to put the link in there, remove the .com part, and write .com. Good enough for me. Here's the thing: is there is a list of known bugs. I didn't see it in there. Okay. Flatpaks app by default. I have installed snaps. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Probably with the cats thing yesterday. Oh, no, don't worry about it. Hello from France. Greetings. Saying we should stop using snaps. I'm saying it's the same way with closed source, proprietary, spyware type software. I want you to be knowledgeable about what you're using. Okay, copy link address. Let's see if this is what we need here. Okay, that's a link to a Firefox. Okay, I was hoping that was a link. Facts that Firefox managed to make a URL bar that looks uglier than Chrome's overall tab. Check this out. It gives Firefox original. Oh, thanks. I'll have a look at that. Oh, I hate this new bar. It's so annoying. We'll have a look at the new bar. Wasn't me. I have nothing against snaps. You know, I don't tell people never use it. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Flatpaks, but I do use a couple of them on my Arch system. You know, sometimes you use them for containerization, but not all snap packages containerize. Like Skype doesn't specifically. Discord apparently doesn't specifically. Apparently, AppArmor completely messes with Discord. All right. Give links for what I want to say unless I have an issue, particularly don't care about, as I mentioned multiple times. Then I know I forget to repeat. Yeah. In contact with them, just tell me what to ask. Get me a link to verify that app images have been removed from the Snap Store. That's what I want. That's what I'm wanting to see. They say it's a bug just to defend them from harassment. Maybe. Need my tinfoil hat, don't I? Don't really care about damage controlling this. I just want you to prepare for the onslaught of this uploaded video it will cause. I don't care. Here's the thing. There is a list of known bugs in Ubuntu. That is not there. Let me see if I can find it again. Okay, which version is this? Okay. All right, let's head on over to the Ubuntu computer. Take a little bit of a detour. All right, here is the known bugs. Okay, extension not compatible. Let's see if I can. And the problem that I have here is that I'm not all that. What I was looking at earlier is I was looking at the. Whoa, wrong button. I pushed the wrong button somewhere. What happened? All right. I was looking at the list of bugs from a different perspective. So we're going to have them come on over here. Let's have a look where I can find anything about apt. So over here. Somebody's car alarm outside the window is going off. Phrase not found. Back to laptop speakers, laptop speakers, laptop speakers. Laptop speakers. All right, let's see if we can find anything related to the Snap Store. Okay, desktop dash searching leads to an error in software package creation. Okay. Start service before app armors are loaded. That's it. Okay, 175. Let's see if there's anything here. Nothing about Snap on this page. Okay, desktop dash searching, clicking Snap application leads to an error page. That's the only thing there. That's it. There is nothing about the app. There's nothing about the Snap Store. There's nothing. That is the official bug report list from Canonical about this build. You want to keep telling me it's a bug? It's not in the list of bugs. Not working. FOSS software applications allow forking. LibreOffice is a fork of OnlyOffice. Would that make LibreOffice not an official application? No, because LibreOffice is a big thing now. I'm low energy now. Oh, man. Need more coffee. Coffee. Completely open source, also decentralized. People wouldn't hate it that much. Well, that is actually the one thing that prevents Linux Mint from using it. In fact, they've said, hey, open source this, and we won't have a problem with it. But they won't. Okay, distribution is in mirrors, always default to locations far from where you are. Yep, that's fine. That's fine, Penguin. And Snap package is only on Ubuntu 20.04, but on Kubuntu they don't use Snap packages. I believe that's the case. I know some of them don't. Okay. Okay, Justin, I've tried system linking for a while. All right. Is it really a store if there isn't much for sale? Which distros avoids all this? Anything not based on Ubuntu generally doesn't have a lot of this, except Solus does have snaps as well. But Solus doesn't do a snap by default. Okay, also to use CSS modifications, you now have to go into About Config, enable legacy CSS modifications. Interesting. Firefox just changed the URL bar. You may not have seen the new one yet. It's kind of more like Edge now. Linux Mint software store, I would believe, would be trusted. They're getting most of their stuff from Debian, curated Ubuntu stuff, things like that. They don't list the bugs until it is out. No, they have 198 bugs for this version of Ubuntu. The bug is hidden or never has to be written. People might have noticed it or are just saying it's there to defend it. It's put it on the bug list. Okay, let's see. Bug only exists on... Yeah, I don't know. Well, Focal's the first time they had the Snap Store by default. Ubuntu is a bug. Oh, no. Okay, let's see. Safe to use Snap apps. It depends on the Snap app. Okay, can you install deb apps from this new Snap store or only Snaps? At this time, no, you cannot. To my understanding, what I've heard is the deb should install, but it doesn't as of this point in time. Some people on here are saying it's a bug. It's not in the bug reports. There's a process you have to do to get apt functionality back. And we'll do that next. So stick around. Ubuntu blog said that debs should work in the final release. Yeah, that's the one that I remember seeing. I tested it in this. It's not working. Do you trust the coffee source? This coffee source? No. But I'm drinking it anyway because coffee. Actually, this one's Folgers, so I think it's okay. I think I might also have some Walmart coffee down there too. Or maybe that is Walmart coffee. I think that is Walmart coffee, in fact. So no, I don't trust the coffee source. Okay. Well, Ubuntu Studio 1804 LXCC didn't even have Snap included. 19 does, yep. Tend to use Snap in this version, yep. Only big applications are official, yep. The spider ate the bug. The spider I ate as a bug. There you go. All right. You're right. It's a bug, not a way of forcing it. Okay. Well, I mean, all I'm looking for is some verification because I went hunting for that. All right, let's go ahead and talk about, suppose that you want to keep using Ubuntu, but you like apt. Let's go ahead and talk about that. All right, let me get my comments back up on top. There we are. Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, the new version of Ubuntu 2004 is about to be released. We're looking at the final beta build right here. And there's always, of course, been this controversy about snaps, whatever else. But outside of that, Ubuntu, this version of Ubuntu is very good, very stable, works very well. The applications that we have are working pretty good. If we have a look at what snaps are installed by default, we have the Core 18, we have GNOME 334, 1804, we have GTK common themes, and we have the Snap Store. Now, the fundamental problem that some people are saying now, some are alleging this is a bug, but it's not as on any bug reports as of now, is that everything in the GUI Software Center is a snap. And there's a lot of people that don't like Snap. But suppose you want to use Ubuntu because there are very valid reasons to use it, but you don't want to use snaps. How can you best get around it? Well, there's some fun things you can do here. You can actually install the GNOME Software Center. Unfortunately, you will probably not find it in here because this only, at this point in time, packages snaps. So there's another Snap Store, which is installed. Of course, they're using I wish that the Snap Store actually had that logo here. So you can't find it there, so you're going to have to do it through the terminal. So we're going to do sudo apt install GNOME software, if I can spell. All right. So when we do this, though, what you're going to notice is when it installs, then having a look at what all is going to be installed, we also have, let's see, there's suggested packages. If you would like Flatpak support, you can do this. So when you install this, it's going to install it, but then it's also going to install this one here, the GNOME software plugin Snap. So let's go ahead and install this guy and see what's going to happen. Now, this was what we're going to see here is a complaint that Pizza Loving Nerd did on his video about the Ubuntu build. Now, when we have a look in here, we now will have two software centers, and they have the same icon. Look at that. software, Ubuntu software. Which one's which? Well, oh, that's the Snap one. This one is the GNOME Software Center. All right. So let's go ahead and have a look at these guys side by side so you can kind of spot the differences between them. So this one back here is the Snap Store. It just says Ubuntu Software Center. This one here just says software. So the problem that we are getting is even inside of here. Let's have a look at Thunderbird, for example, which is installed on our system. And it is installed on our system via apt. This guy is still reporting only the Snap. So let's see. Actually, let's see if there's a source over here. Snap Store, Snap Store. So right now we're still only able to find the Snap Store for it. Let's go ahead and do the same one over here in this one. So here is Thunderbird and the channel, only the Snapcraft options. All right, so let's go ahead and close these guys down. So that one package that it installed that we did not want is the GNOME software plugin Snap. So let's do a sudo apt remove GNOME software plugin Snap. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and free that one up. So now that that's done. Now at this step here, now remember that Ubuntu software is the Snap Store. Software is the non-Snap Store. So GNOME software needs to be restarted to use new plugins. Let's go ahead and restart now. Hopefully it will go with the apt. Now, I actually had a bug earlier where I still had to remove the Snap Store. Let's see what we actually have in here now. Let's look for Thunderbird. This is kind of using that. So you can see right now that Thunderbird is still not showing up. All right, let's have a look at our software repositories and see what we have here. Let's just double check what we have. So everything is good. This is the part that I previously had an issue where I couldn't get this running. I want to try and get this running without removing the Snap Store because there are valid reasons to keep it on there. So let's just see if rebooting the system will actually fix this. So let's do two things. Actually, first thing, let's do a sudo apt update just to make sure that the cache is good set up for it. And now we're going to do a reboot. So let's do a sudo reboot. Reboot the system, and then let's see if that's there. If that's not the case, then yeah, we are going to have to remove the Snap Store because it seems to be interfering. Come on, Ubuntu. Come on, Ubuntu. Come on. Come on. Let's go, Ubuntu. Let's go. All right, so now we're going to come back in here. Remember, software, not Ubuntu software, is the one that we want. Let's just go ahead and see if this fixed our problem. If it didn't, then we might have to go ahead and remove the Snap Store. That was the final thing that I was able to do to get apt back functioning here. All right, so nope, sadly, still not going to work. So let's go ahead and go back into our terminal, and let's do snap remove. I think it's called Snap Store. Now we have our Windows-esque application bar. We're disconnecting the Snap Store. All right. Now you can see the Snap Store's gone. Boot this guy up. And we might need to do... it's still not there. All right, let's see if we can figure this guy out. These were the steps that I've already done a couple different times to get this guy fixed. Let's go back into the terminal. Everything should be up to date. Let's just go ahead and do another reboot one more time. Hopefully this will fix it. I promise, this worked for me yesterday just fine. And then I reinstalled the system to make sure that I could show you guys how to do this. It's just not easy to do. I just want my app store. All right, so on our second reboot, you can see our software center is no longer in the front menu there. Now let's see if this functions. Still not looking like it's functioning right. Let's give it a second, see if it works. No, I don't want to install Discover. Okay, I have no idea now. Yesterday I was able to get this working perfectly fine on the test, and I thought I had everything set up just right. It's canonical partners. We might just have to abandon this video idea because, man, that was working just fine for me yesterday. Let's see if Firefox is there. No applications found. I don't know. We might just have to abandon this video idea because that worked just fine for me yesterday. Running the, removing the Snap store. Maybe I need to remove everything else related to Snap, which is kind of silly, but I don't know. Maybe there's, maybe I missed something. So I'll research that. Maybe I'll come up with another video and get that figured out. Well, that didn't work well. Let's see if you guys were telling me how to fix it in the comments here. That's exactly, though, what I did yesterday. I had to remove the Snap Store, install the GNOME Software Center. Let's do sudo apt install reinstall GNOME software. I have no earthly idea. Those are every step that I did yesterday to get this guy running. Not working now. Can't seem to get it running now. Okay. Big applications are official is that there are many original projects that are small. And I consider those also official, yeah. There's no official applications. They're just well-trusted applications by the community. Ubuntu is becoming more like Windows 10. Originally, that's what I was going to do. You know, software required a restart to finish installing, actually using the exact same terminology as Windows, which is kind of frightening. The pop-up box. Okay. Ubuntu with Snap, cannot recommend him. Might start recommending Mint. Yeah, that's why I recommend Mint. No, Linux Mint's not for noobs. Linux Mint's for everybody. Okay, nice, stable. Hello, Joe. Greetings. Nice, simple, stable, and niche systems are great. Yep. Welcome to GNOME software. Yeah. It usually never works anyway. Oh, I agree with you. I hate GNOME Software Center. It sucks. But it did actually work for me yesterday. I followed the exact same steps I did yesterday. Install GNOME Software Center, remove the plugin. Oh, yeah, let me try one more thing. I did do one more thing yesterday. No. Yesterday, I also installed the Flatpak software, but the software was not coming from Flatpaks. It was coming from repos. Let's exit that. Restart you. See if that fixes it. Nope. About software, update preferences. Huh. Refreshing software cache. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Okay, will we make a video on the new Ubuntu Kylin 2004 with their CUI? I don't know, maybe. If I see it. Okay, best way to use it. Use a non-system D, yep. All right, what is going on? Yeah, I don't know why I was not able to get that working today. It's working just fine yesterday. Yeah, I hate the GNOME Software Center. Completely hate it. Try which Thunderbird, see if Thunderbird installs. All right. Apparently my system has killed itself, so let's just reboot it. Come back, Ubuntu, come back. Interesting. Just an FYI, my comment section on YouTube has crashed out. I might have to reboot the Chromium pages. No, don't rerun the intro. Don't do that. There, do that. Yeah, I'm going to have to reboot some stuff over here. Let me see if this forces, though. Let's reload you, reload you. Hey, we're back. There we are. Well, that was painless enough. All right, let's get back our software center, see if this works. No, I don't know. Like, literally, I did the exact same steps I did yesterday, and it is not functioning today. I don't know. Oh, well, I give up for now. That's why I gave up on Ubuntu a while ago. I was hoping to get 2 videos out of the day, but apparently I only get 1. All right. Let's do now. Okay. Let's check this over here. Okay, I'm going to check a link that is over here. Let's see. All right, so this is the link that FarronOS sent on a Discord on Ubuntu. So let's go ahead and read what this has to say. I can't show it on the screen because it's on the other system. All right, so is Ubuntu software going to be removed for Snap Store? So there's a list to, according to the Ubuntu Focal proposed. Then yes, they are, let's see, GNOME Calculator, a few other GNOME things. Remove the Snap versions. GNOME software plugin Snap for Desktop Minimal recommends Desktop Minimal. Removed Ubuntu software from Desktop Minimal, recommends replaced it with the Snap Store. So according to that, this is Merlinge. This is the one that did the Simple Screen Recorder plugin that we looked at before. Okay, so he says, yeah, it seems like they're switching to the Snap. Ken Vadine, he did another one of the Snap packages we looked at, has been busy last few weeks making strictly confined Snap, but GNOME Calculator, etc. are switching from Snap to Deb. There really wasn't much benefit for those apps being snaps because they didn't get much updates. Let's hope this means the software store will receive a lot of updates during the lifetime. Ken reports in, we had seeded the basic packages to snaps, but put pressure on improving desktop integration, made great strides towards the goal. So this is kind of talking about that kind of stuff. I mean, the default app store on Ubuntu 2004 will not be able to install Deb packages. It won't have access to regular apt repositories. So Ken says it will be able to install app packages. Snap Store in the stable Ubuntu channel is capable of apt, snap, and FWUPD, but only when run on Ubuntu. If on another distro, it will be snap only as to not interfere with the distro's provided tool. Okay, so according to Ken up here, then it will be capable of doing that. That's what he says. Let's see, for Flatpaks, just need to install GNOME Software Flatpak plugin. But that's for the GNOME Software Center. You'd need to install the GNOME Software Center as well. So when will there be 2 GNOME Software Centers, the Snap version and the Deb version? No, they will only be using Snap installed by default. Understand there will be mitigation, but there may not be done yet. Some applies for some Snap greater than Deb. Okay, let's see. To be clear, we will still be a Deb package of GNOME software in the archive that can be installed. It will be installed as a dependency if you want GNOME software plugin Flatpak. If you choose to do that, you'll have 2 versions of the GNOME software installed, but one of them is not out-of-the-box experience. I think advanced users will choose to do that and will understand why there are 2 versions. Dev version of GNOME software will no longer be called Ubuntu software. We'll be rebranding that. That should prevent confusion. That's one's just called software. Okay, would uninstalling Ubuntu software snap be possible without affecting Ubuntu desktop? Can the GNOME software dev version still install snaps? I'd like to ask because I'd like to be able to install deb, snap, flatpaks from one app. And we don't have a lot of information on that. So yeah, there's some discussion going back and forth. Okay. This is all going back and forth to over a month ago. Okay, so Alan Pope says switching off updates completely is not something that's currently on the roadmap. However, there are ways to work around it. If you snap revert snapname, it will go back to the previous version and won't be updated. In addition, if you snap download snapname, it will install snapname dangerous if you're opting out of updates for that snap as well. So you can avoid automatic updates if you revert to a previous version after an update, or if you install an update with the dangerous tag. Okay. Let's see. Honestly, referring sounds too much like Windows 10. I'd want no auto updates, period. Even if Android, iOS allow that simple setting, why can't Snap? He says, I don't completely understand why people compare this to Windows 10. This is why I don't listen to PR people. Why do you not understand it relates to Windows 10? Because Windows 10 forces updates, and people don't want forced updates. Okay. As if that's a bad thing. If you ever have any kind of history in the computing industry, listen to my idea, I'm king. Listen to my idea, I'm king. Okay, that's the problem. So there's the state. So according to some guys back in March, yes, the store should eventually be able to install apt. There's no bug report about it. There's nothing except a discussion between 2 guys on the Discourse Ubuntu forum thread. That's all we can find. That's my concern. Those are concerns. All right, I think we're going to have to wrap this show up here soon. Let's see. Tom showing people the telemetry, EULA, and privacy issues of Windows 10 as a way to make... I've done it before. Okay. Hello, John. Greetings, greetings. Comments I'm reading. That was from a Discord Ubuntu thread. All right, we're going to go ahead and feed the kitty. Sorry if I didn't get to your comments. Is there a kitty to feed? The kitty. Come on. Come on, kitty. He's sitting over there like, dude, if you want me to eat those, you're going to have to come over here. All right, he's moving. Come on, buddy. We're short on time, so I'm just going to pick you up rather than have you try and jump up for the next 5 minutes. Come on. All right, kitty. Let's feed the kitty. Let's feed the kitty. Go on, give me some paw. Give me some paw. Give me some paw, buddy. Give me some paw. Give me some paw. I need some paw. Give me some paw. Yeah, we got some paw. And one more for you over here. There you go. Are they finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. All right, the final couple comment wrap up here. You want to lay down? Here, have a cat pad. Have a cat pad. He's like, yep, I'll take the cat pad. My cat pad. All right. I like auto updates, but I want to have an option to enable or disable it. My dad doesn't pay attention to updates, so he never updates. I like enabling it for him. Yep. New users have no clue what System D really is. All right. Okay. No sense anyone with any intelligence just saying a lot of hate for Microsoft too. Give us choice. I like automatic updates sometimes. Other times it could ruin my network. Yeah. Yeah, like, when I just updated my OMV, they completely changed how they package or how things connect with the network shares as related to the FS tab files. And so it broke my entire ebook server. If that was an automatic update, my ebook server goes down, I wouldn't even realize what in the world the problem is. It would take me 10 times as long to figure it out. But since it happened because I manually ran an update, I kind of had to figure out what the problem was. And so it's just like, that's crazy. Okay, why Snap is so flawed, what he doesn't understand, especially since the previous times it has been mentioned in there. Either everyone has been blindly positive or Snaps hasn't been. That's the problem. Okay, that's the thing, is that I am not going to kiss people's butts because I want to win brownie points with the leaders and the developer. I don't play politics. I don't do it. Okay? I just won't. My chances of coming up and having a discussion with them? Probably not. My views are known. And that's the thing. Too many people are too busy kissing people's butts. Let's have a... Like, no, I'm not going to. Butts smell gross. They taste gross too, I don't have any experience with that, but are felines lizard food? No, lizards are feline food. Ooh. Are calamity for people with some oil in their brain? Yeah. You're saying to not use Ubuntu, or should it still be saved in terms of privacy? Terms of privacy, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody what to use and what not to use. Use Windows if you want. I just want you to know what you're getting into. I have serious concerns with a distribution that pushes unofficial Snap packages over official software from repositories that has been curated by a lot of different people with a lot more, a lot of... background in the development versus just saying we got to get a software center up. So you 5 people work on these programs, you 5 people these programs, you 5 people programs, and by the way, we're going to trust the developer rather than the code. I have fundamental questions with that issue. That's what my goal is. I would like to have gotten that software center with apt working because I did it perfectly fine yesterday. And I'm telling you, I don't know what the difference was, but I'll try and figure it out. If I can figure it out, I'll make it work. To explain how he made his intro today, maybe next time. How do you make my intro? On Blender. It's a simple scene on Blender with a rolling camera and a toggle switch that moved around on a couple keyframes. All right, we're going to wrap this up here. Thanks for hanging out, everybody, and we will catch you guys next time.